Filing your taxes in the U.S. for the first time can feel like stepping into a maze. There are forms you've never seen, terms you don't understand, and deadlines you didn't even know existed. And if you're like most people, the fear of messing up can make you want to ignore it altogether. But here's the good news. Taxes don't have to be scary. In this video, I'm going to guide you through everything you need to know to file your taxes with confidence. Whether you're a student, freelancer, part-time worker, or a full-time employee, this beginner's guide is designed just for you. Let's start with the basics. What even are taxes? In the U.S., taxes are the money you pay to local, state, and federal governments to fund services we all use. Things like public schools, transportation, healthcare, defense, and more. Throughout the year, your employer usually withholds a portion of your paycheck for taxes. Then, once a year, you file a tax return. Filing your taxes is basically reporting your income, figuring out how much tax you owe, subtracting what you've already paid, and seeing if there's a difference. If you've paid too much, you get a refund. If you paid too little, you'll need to pay the rest. Sounds simple when you say it like that, right? Now let's break down who needs to file and what documents you'll need. So, who exactly needs to file taxes? In general, if you made more than a certain amount of money in the last year, you're required to file. For example, in 2025, if you're single and made more than about $13,850, you need to file a federal tax return. But here's the thing. Even if you made less, it still might be worth filing. You could be eligible for a refund or certain tax credits that put real money back in your pocket. Now, before you start filing, you want to gather all your documents. Here's a basic list to get you started. First, the W-2 form, which comes from your employer and shows how much you earned and how much tax was withheld. If you're a freelancer, gig worker, or earned other income, you'll likely receive a 1099 form. Students might get a 1098-T form that reflects tuition payments, which can help you qualify for education-related tax credits. You'll also need your Social Security number, a valid photo ID, and bank account information if you want your refund direct deposited. If you plan to claim deductions or credits, you'll need records for those as well, like receipts for donations, childcare, medical expenses, or business purchases. The more organized you are before you file, the easier and faster the process will be. Once you've got everything together, it's time to look at how to actually file your taxes. All right, let's talk about the different ways you can file your taxes. There are three main options. First, you can file yourself using online tax software. This is a great choice if your situation is pretty simple. And most platforms, like TurboTax, H&R Block, or Free Tax USA, will walk you through the process with easy, step-by-step questions. Some services are even free if you meet income limits through the IRS Free File program. Second, you can hire a tax professional or CPA, someone who knows the system and can file for you. This is ideal if your tax situation is complicated, if you're self-employed, own rental property, or just want peace of mind. Third, you can file a paper return by mail, but this is slow and prone to errors. Unless you have a specific reason to do it manually, I recommend filing electronically. Now, when you file, the goal is to reduce how much tax you owe legally, and that's where deductions and credits come in. Most people take the standard deduction, which in 2025 is about $14,000 for single filers. That means the first $14,000 you earn isn't taxed. If you have high medical bills, mortgage interest, or large charitable donations, you might benefit from itemizing instead. Then there are tax credits, which directly reduce how much you owe, and some of them are refundable. These include the child tax credit, the earned income tax credit, and education credits like the American Opportunity Credit. Even if you didn't make much money, some credits could get you a refund. Your tax software or professional will guide you through all of this, but it helps to know what's out there. Let's move on to deadlines, refunds, and the mistakes you'll definitely want to avoid. The tax filing season usually opens in late January, and the deadline is typically April 15th. If you can't file by then, you can request an extension, which gives you until October 15th to submit your return. But here's the catch. Even if you file an extension, you still need to pay what you owe by April 15th, or you'll get hit with interest and penalties. So what happens after you file? Either you get a refund, meaning you overpaid during the year, or you'll owe money. If you're owed a refund, filing electronically and choosing direct deposit is the fastest way to get your money. Most people receive their refund within 1 to 3 weeks. If you owe money, don't panic. The IRS offers payment plans, even for small amounts. What's important is that you take action and don't ignore it. Ignoring it only makes things worse. Now let's talk about common mistakes. These include entering the wrong Social Security number, forgetting a W-2 or 1099, misreporting income, or skipping signatures on paper forms. One of the biggest mistakes? Waiting until the very last minute and rushing. Don't be that person stressing out on April 14th. File early and avoid the scramble. So now that you've made it through your first tax season, here are a few pro tips to make next year even easier. First, create a digital folder right now labeled 2025 Taxes and drop any relevant documents into it throughout the year. W-2s, 1099s, donation receipts, tuition statements, anything you might need. When tax time rolls around again, you'll be miles ahead. If you're self-employed, track expenses as you go. Use an app or spreadsheet to log things like mileage, equipment, software, or advertising costs. Come tax season, you won't have to dig through a shoebox of receipts. If you owed a lot or got a big refund, consider adjusting your W-4 form with your employer. This can help you avoid big surprises next time. And the golden rule? Don't procrastinate. File early. Get that refund. Move on with your life. Taxes don't have to be confusing. Now that you know what to expect, you can approach tax season with confidence and maybe even help someone else through it too. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment below letting us know. Was this your first time filing? Or do you have your own tax time tips to share? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.